Good morning, everyone.
Today we are going to take the super short journey from the island of Gili Air to the island of Lombok so that we can explore the new town of Kuta. Okay, so this morning all happened really fast. Of course, we wanted to get the free breakfast from our accommodation, but that made us leave a little bit later than we were maybe hoping. From our understanding, the ferry to Lombok left at 8:30 a.m., but you needed at least 36 people to buy a ticket in order for it to go. So anyways, by the time we had breakfast, we made our way to the port, we took out some cash. I think we bought our ticket at maybe 8:10 or something like that, and like immediately after they put us on the boat and we went straight to Lombok. So here we are, and we had read that the Lombok harbor is very overwhelming. There's lots of people trying to get you into their taxis, into their carriages, into their bikes. So we made a game plan that we were just going to find a coffee shop and sit down and regroup before we figured out how we wanted to get to Kuta, because it's on the southern side of the island, and right now we are on the northwest side of the island. So either we can take a boat, but I heard from a local who is our driver for the snorkeling experience, he says that takes like 5 hours. That's a long time. He said you should just drive. So I think we're gonna see if we can try and find a taxi that'll take us there, or a minibus. I've heard that there are some that can take us there. Online, there's not really a lot of information, so that's why we haven't really planned this far ahead. But I think we're just gonna ask around, see what we can do, and then head out from there. Okay, quick little update for you while we're waiting for our coffees. They have a barista here that wasn't actually in yet, but I see that they're setting up shop right now. And they also had a little information booth here, so Graham went and asked about how, what the best way is to get to Kuta, what are the options. And I think they called a friend, and he came over and started chatting to us. So he originally said that we could take the public shuttle bus, which would be 225,000 rupiah per person, but then he later dropped it down to 150,000 rupiah per person. He said the other option that we could do was take a private shuttle with him, where it would just be us two, for 500,000 rupiah total. So really similar to what he first offered for the shuttle bus. He then dropped it down to 400,000 rupiah. And from what we were seeing with the Bluebird app, which is the metered taxi here, it was anywhere between 350 to 450,000 rupiah, so it is a really good deal. Kuta is very far away from the port here. I think it's about a 2-hour drive-ish if you take that private taxi, or like 3 to 4 hours if you take the shuttle bus. So we've opted to take the taxi because I think it'll be a lot more comfortable. It's what we were seeing for the prices with the metered taxi anyway, so we know that he's not really trying to rip us off at all. And we've heard that the public shuttle is a little bit unreliable, so this just works easier for us. He's waiting for us to get our coffees and enjoy our coffees, and then he's gonna take us to Kuta.
So Robin and I have made it to our new place. We were staying at the Join Homestay here in Kuta, Lombok. It's about a 400-meter walk, about 5-minute walk to the Kuta beach. So we're in a pretty good location, close to a lot of restaurants and things like that. The car ride here is pretty simple. It was okay. I would say that I think it was a little bit more expensive, but the ride itself was pretty simple. Took us just under 2 hours to get here, so now Robin and I have checked in. We are just waiting for our room to be clean, and then we will give you a quick tour of that. Also, just wanted to say this place is 1.2 million rupiah for 5 nights, so pretty good deal for what we were getting. We can rent scooters from here for an additional cost, but we've also got a pool, AC, and pretty fast Wi-Fi from what we can tell so far. So I think it's gonna be a pretty good stay here. We are here for a little while. The guy that checked us in was a bit surprised that we were here for a full 5 nights, so I think it'll be good, and we'll go get some lunch here soon, and we'll check into our room, and then we'll be exploring Kuta.
Okay, it is 1:30. The last time we ate was 7:30 this morning, so it's time to go get some food.
Okay, so Robin and I just finished lunch, but now we are just out walking the main street, checking some things out, looking at a bunch of cool little local shops, kind of getting our first glimpse of what life here in Kuta, Lombok is like. Okay, so we've been walking for a little bit. Robert and I just kind of like ended up on the main strip and then turned towards the water and walked straight down. Definitely ended up more in like the local harbor area. We just met the cutest little group of kids. We were doing high fives and fist bumps with all of them, trying to teach them cool little high five tricks that we know.
Yeah.
That was quite the little experience, and welcome to Kuta.
I think this is honestly the first time in quite a while that there's more locals than tourists at the places that we're at. So really cool to see, really refreshing. I feel like we're experiencing a little bit more culture here than maybe some of the other areas. So
sure.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. So we've kind of been walking along the main part of the sea here. There's a really nice big walkway that took us all the way from what I would consider like the local harbor with all of like the fishing boats, fishing shacks, people's houses, things like that, along to this area which is way more developed. There's big hotels, like really nice Airbnbs or little guest houses. It seems really well developed. Like it's very much giving me a kind of beach resort town vibe, if that kind of makes sense. But anyways, we're gonna keep walking down. We've just hit the nice main beach and we'll see what we can find.
Okay, this beach looks very nice. The waves are like way out there breaking, so the inside, like closer to the beach area, there's like no waves. It's super calm. Behind Robin filming right now, there's a whole bunch of locals playing in the water, so I think this is gonna be a really awesome spot to set up and just like swim and enjoy ourselves on the beach for a while. Also, while prepping to come to Kuta, I was doing some reading and some, I guess, to come to Lombok in general, I was doing some reading, kind of like comparisons to what it's like to Bali. From what I've read, the whole Lombok area is like behind what Bali is developed wise, so it's just like more locals, less big chains and things like that, so I'm excited to see what it's really like.
And honestly, like Graham and I keep seeing like these super extravagant hotels and restaurants and cafes and like stuff like this little Kuta lane, it just is really built to like mimic a resort town, but there's no tourists. Like there's a couple, but really there's not a lot of tourists here. I feel like I'm just like wandering this like empty resort town as if we were in here in like the very off season. Maybe it is the off season right now and it's a lot busier some other time, but like we have this place to ourselves, it feels like. And another thing to add is that it feels like a resort town, yes, but without the resort town prices. At least like, I mean, we've just been here for a day so far, but even like looking at accommodations, looking at like general food prices and stuff, it's cheaper than Bali from what we're finding. And so it, like if this little area was on the island of Bali, I feel like we would be paying like ridiculously high prices for everything, but it's still cheaper than it is on the island of Bali. So this is a really cool place if you want to splurge without spending a lot of money.
Okay, this is so crazy. This is like a full-on like market stage family kind of hangout area. All of these behind me are all shops that are all closed, and there's an open stage, and then there's a whole nother section of shops just over this way a little bit. So I think it's probably pretty safe to say that Robin and I are here in the off season. Currently the end of September, so I think that's probably why. But yeah, this place is really cool. I can only imagine what it's like when it's like full of families and tourists and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, really cool spot.
We're off to find some supper. So the restaurant that we decided to go with is called Warung Ebe, and terima kasih. Also, we've noticed that so many of the restaurants here have an actual pizza oven, so that's what we've decided to share, as well as garlic bread, and I'm very excited. It's gonna be so good. I haven't had pizza in so long. So we got our garlic bread. This is not what I was expecting, and I find it hilarious. It's like a big chunk of butter and like chunks of garlic on bread, which like garlic bread, of course. And it's like toasted on the bottom, so I'll give it a try. That's garlicky. The best part is he literally just made it in front of us and pulled it right out of the oven and put it on our table. So it's a little bit too hot for a taste test right now.
Okay, we've let it cool off a little bit, so I'm gonna give it a little bite here. That was absolutely excellent. This is gonna all be mine. Robin can have the one piece on her plate.
Terima kasih, thank you.
Okay, so Robin and I after supper wanted to just get a few snacks for tonight as we kind of hang out in our room a little bit. Ended up going to a grocery store. There's just like something about going to a grocery store in a foreign country. There's like so many different options and things to look at that you don't have in your home country. So I just like, it's kind of a fun experience to have. I did have to do a little bit of arm twisting to get Robin there, but I think after what we all got, we came out smiling and thinking we had a good time. So I don't know, get to a grocery store if you're in a foreign country. It's kind of fun. Okay, so Robin and I made it back to our homestay here.
That was our travel day here to Kuta Lombok. Honestly, we were stressing about it at the beginning. We had heard horror stories of the harbor, and I do feel compared to Bali, they were a lot more on you of like, hey, where are you going? Where are you going? Everyone was really nice, but it was definitely a lot more confrontational at the harbor here. So I think Graham and I got a little bit overwhelmed just because we're not as used to it, and we booked a private taxi. We had just read so many things of the shuttle buses taking way longer than they said, or not dropping them off in the right location, or not picking them up when they said they'd be picked up. So we just thought that that was the easiest, and honestly it was a very smooth travel day.
Yeah, and overall Kuta looks like it's gonna be a great place. We're definitely excited for the next couple of days here.
Yeah,
and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye-bye.
Make it look light.
What?
Make it look light.
What?
Never mind. So when we... Go ahead. My arm is getting tired already and it's not a good sign.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Did you get that on video?
I did.